Yeah, my father, in the book that I'm still writing, which has been now, I decided to write the book when I thought I will last. After 4 or 5 years into the film industry, I started believing that I will last for 10 years. And I wrote a book, the title was 20 Years of a Decade, because I felt I've crammed in 20 years into the 10 years. I'm a little tardy with it. I still haven't finished it. Now it's 22 years that I've been working. The book is still not complete. And, when in the book, the chapter that I made Shoma read, the main, the exposure of my inner self is that I think my father was the most successful failure in the world. And I'm very, very proud of him. And I remember him as a very gentle person, 6 feet tall, very Pathan, gray eyes, brown hair, very handsome. I also remember the first time I went to Peshawar with him. The whole family was over 6 feet 2 inches, very fair, very beautiful. And I remember the whole family met me first time, and I was about 14, and they speak Hindko there, like Punjabi. And they looked at me and said, "Innu ki ho gaya? Ye te Pathan lagda hi nahi hai." So I'm that kind of Pathan. And he taught me a lot of things. He died when I was 15, and as years are going by, I remember things that he's told me. I remember he took me out for a movie, never told me we belong to a place where, in terms of finances, lower middle class, or however it's described, we didn't have the money. We used to travel in buses, 501, 502, 501, 502, Delhi wali 510. And he took me, and he didn't tell me money's run out. So he made me sit there used to be a roundabout near Kamani Auditorium, and we bought moongfali. And he said, "यहाँ बैठेंगे और गाड़ियों को," he used to also speak a little bit of Punjabi. He said, "यारा, गाड़ियों को आगे पीछे जाते देखेंगे, सबसे अच्छा होता है ये." And he never told me. My mom, who was Hyderabadi and a little more pragmatic, as you said, and a little more talkative and loud, she said, तुमको बुद्धू बनाए हो ना, जाके वहाँ पे कुछ नहीं, पैसे नहीं थे तो इसलिए तुम्हें गाड़ियाँ दिखाकर वापस लेकर आ गए. So my mother was extremely, I think after he died, she kind of dedicated her life to look after us. And the essence of both my parents was that they didn't know what we'd become. My father was a non-practicing lawyer because he said he can't lie. So sorry if there are some lawyers here. But main nahi karunga. He was the youngest freedom fighter of this country in terms of age. And my mother was a magistrate, but she was like a go-getter and very enthusiastic. And after he died, she carried on the dream my father had, that we should make sure that children are well educated. If they get educated, life will be okay for them. Of course, I wasted all my education. I've done sciences, then economics, and then masters in mass communication, and I became a film star. So it's kind of doesn't come handy when you're doing "You Are My Chammak Challo." And that's it. So I remember them. I think I've imbibed the fear of failure that I saw my father go through. And I didn't want to fail like him. I want to take my son out. If I promise him for a movie, I want to show him a movie, not the cars around a roundabout. Though that was fun too. And the enthusiasm and the energy that my mother had to earn money so that, she could look after us and educate us. They both died, I think, between the ages of 49 and 50. I just turned 47 day before yesterday, so it's a little scary thought. But it was an education which makes me a very pragmatic, practical poet, I think. Yeah, it makes me a very commercial poet, I think. It makes me someone who has dreams like my father did, someone who's as gentle as I am, notwithstanding the Mumbai Cricket Association incident.
We'll come to that.
Yeah. But so I'm a believer. I'm a little idealistic and utopian and thoughtful and gentle like my dad. But I want to do all those thinking and write all those poems with a stomach full of food and have a good car and a good house. So I don't deride myself or deprecate myself when I say I'm kind of capitalist. It is just that I am a survivor who wants to live well and think well. And I think all youngsters should believe that. If you isolate one of them, I've been hearing amazing amount of dedicated work from some of the people, extremely educated and highly positioned jobs, leaving everything and looking after a cause which is close to their hearts. I would like to do that, But being from the place I believe, which is kind of honest, I like to do it with the money that I earn from this capitalist, this in-your-face business-like job that I do. So I want to, I imbibe, I think, both the things that my mom and dad taught, and I still miss them a lot.